Are you planning to move to Alaska? If that's a yes, then this video is just for you. We're about to embark on a journey exploring 10 crucial things you need to know before heading north. From understanding the unique climate, the abundance of wildlife, to the cost of living, we've got all these aspects covered. We'll also delve into the job market, the remote lifestyle, outdoor activities, and the rich native culture. So, stay tuned to find out what you need to know before you pack your bags. First up, let's talk about the climate. Alaska, often referred to as the last frontier, is known for its extreme weather conditions. The winters are long and cold, stretching from late October to early April. With temperatures often dipping below freezing, it's a world of ice and snow. But don't worry, it's not all cold. Alaska has its mild side too. The summers, though short, are pleasantly mild, with temperatures that can reach up to 70 degrees Fahrenheit in some areas. Remember, this is a land where nature rules. The climate can be unpredictable and harsh, making it essential to be prepared. This means having the right gear, knowing how to stay warm, and understanding what it means to live in a place where the weather can change in an instant. So, before you make the move, consider if you're ready to embrace this unique climate. Next, you'll need to consider the daylight. As you might already know, Alaska is famous for its unique daylight patterns. This phenomenon is a result of the state's high latitude, leading to what's known as the midnight sun and polar night. Let's start with the midnight sun. During the summer months, the sun can be visible for up to 24 hours a day. Yes, you heard that right. Imagine having a picnic at midnight, or playing a game of soccer under the sun at 3 in the morning. It's a surreal experience that is unique to Alaska. On the flip side, the winter months bring the polar night where the sun barely peeks over the horizon. It's not total darkness, but more like a prolonged twilight. This might seem daunting, but the beauty of the northern lights more than makes up for it. Remember, the sun doesn't set in the summer and barely rises in the winter. Now, let's talk about the wildlife. Alaska, the last frontier, is teeming with diverse wildlife that can be awe-inspiring and humbling. The state is home to a vast range of creatures, from the majestic bald eagles soaring high above the treetops, to the powerful bears that roam the forests, and the graceful moose that wander the tundra. Living in Alaska means being part of this incredible ecosystem. You're not just an observer, but a participant in this natural world. It means acknowledging the importance of these creatures, respecting their habitats, and understanding their roles in the ecosystem. Bears, moose, and eagles are not the only animals you'll encounter. There are caribou, foxes, wolves, and countless species of birds and fish. Each one plays a crucial role, adding to the richness and diversity of life in Alaska. Remember, when you're in Alaska, you're not just residing in a state, you're sharing your space with the wildlife, living in harmony with nature's rhythm. In Alaska, you're sharing your home with the wildlife. Another important point is the cost of living. Now, life in Alaska is not cheap, folks. The remoteness of the state and the harsh climate mean that a lot of goods have to be imported, which drives up the price of everyday items. Your grocery bill is likely to be significantly higher than what you're used to. We're talking about everything from your morning coffee to your dinner staples. Utilities too can come with a hefty price tag. The long, cold winters mean you'll be cranking up the heat more often, which can send your energy bills soaring. And let's not forget housing. While it varies from city to city, expect to pay a pretty penny for a place to call home, whether you're renting or buying. So, living in Alaska does come with its financial challenges. But remember, it's also a place of stunning natural beauty and unique experiences. So, make sure you're financially prepared before making the move. Next, let's discuss the job market. Alaska, the last frontier, is a land of opportunities. But where exactly do these opportunities lie? Well, the Alaskan job market is dominated by three major industries: fishing, oil, and tourism. The fishing industry is a staple in the Alaskan economy. From salmon to halibut, the waters of Alaska teem with a variety of fish, making it a profitable enterprise. The oil industry, on the other hand, is a long-standing giant in the state. With its rich oil reserves, Alaska boasts one of the top spots in the U.S. for oil production. Lastly, the tourism industry. Alaska's breathtaking landscapes, mesmerizing northern lights, and unique wildlife attract millions of tourists each year, providing a myriad of job opportunities in hospitality, guiding, and transportation services. However, it's key to note that job availability can fluctuate greatly depending on the season. The summer season typically offers more jobs, especially in tourism. Remember, job availability varies greatly depending on the season. Moving on, consider the remote lifestyle. Alaska is known for its vast expanses of untouched wilderness, and many parts of the state are incredibly isolated. This means that amenities you might take for granted, like grocery stores, restaurants, and entertainment venues, might be few and far between, or even non-existent in some areas. Imagine this. You could be living hundreds of miles away from your nearest neighbor, with only the stunning Alaskan wilderness for company. The silence and solitude can be both a blessing and a challenge, depending on your preferences. This remoteness also means that access to medical services can be limited, and you might need to plan ahead for things like shopping trips and doctor's visits. It's a lifestyle that demands self-reliance and a love for nature. But if the idea of living under the vast Alaskan sky, surrounded by unspoiled landscapes and far from the hustle and bustle of city life appeals to you, then you might just find your paradise in the remote corners of Alaska. If you're looking for a quiet, remote lifestyle, Alaska might be the place for you. Next up, the outdoor activities. Alaska is an adventurer's paradise. If you're a fan of hiking, you are in for a treat. The state boasts a vast network of trails that wind through some of the most breathtaking landscapes you'll ever lay eyes on. From towering mountains to lush forests and even glaciers, there's a trail for every level of hiker. Fishing enthusiasts will also find plenty to love about Alaska. Home to countless rivers, lakes, and the vast Pacific Ocean, the state offers the chance to reel in everything from salmon to halibut. And let's not forget about the winter sports. Once the snow falls, Alaska transforms into a playground for snowboarders and skiers. The slopes are pristine and the views are nothing short of spectacular. Whether you're carving your way down a mountain or cross-country skiing through a quiet forest, you'll find your winter wonderland here. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, you'll never be bored in Alaska. Another point to consider is the native culture. The great state of Alaska is home to a rich, vibrant, and incredibly diverse native culture that has been shaped over thousands of years. The indigenous peoples of Alaska, including the Inupiat, Yupik, Aleut, Tlingit, Haida, Tsimshian, Ayak, and Athabaskan, have a deep and profound connection to the land. This connection is reflected in their languages, traditions, and festivals. More than 20 different indigenous languages are spoken in Alaska, each with its own unique expressions, stories, and wisdom. These languages are the heartbeat of the native culture, carrying forward the knowledge and values of their ancestors. Festivals and traditions also play a vital role. From the spirited Nalukatak, the Inupiat Whaling Festival, to the mesmerizing dance of the Yupik people, these cultural events offer an immersive experience into the native way of life. Embracing the local culture is an essential part of living in Alaska. It's more than just a place to live, it's a place to learn, grow, and become a part of a vibrant, thriving community. Now, let's recap what we've learned. Alaska, the last frontier. Its extreme climate is something to be prepared for, with harsh winters and mild summers. The daylight, too, can be a challenge. With almost 24 hours of sunlight in summer and barely any in winter, it's a unique experience. The wildlife in Alaska is diverse and abundant. From bears to whales, you'll be living in one of the most biologically rich regions in the world. Yet, the cost of living can be high. It's essential to budget for higher prices, especially for groceries and utilities. The job market is robust, particularly in sectors like fishing, oil, and tourism. Remote lifestyle is a common practice, with many residents living off the grid or in isolated communities. It's a way of life that requires resilience and self-sufficiency. Outdoor activities are a highlight. Fishing, hiking, skiing, there's an adventure for every season. Yet it's also important to understand and respect the native culture. Alaska is home to many indigenous communities, each with their own rich history and traditions. Remember, moving to Alaska is a big decision. Make sure you're well prepared and informed before you take the leap.